Always feel like we're live and I don't know it.
Big brother, you are now live. Oh,
Okay, welcome to HJ Goes Live. I'm Sian, HJ's Deputy Editor, and today we're talking to Jacqui McIntosh, the European Education Director for Avlon, and we're going to be talking about how Avlon has changed the game for Afro hairdressing. So, welcome, Jacqui, and thank you for joining us today.
hi, Sean.
How
Thank you
are
for having me. Thank you.
No, thank you. So we last spoke to you about the Afro textured hair education and Avlon's 2024 education program. And I guess carrying on from that, we're now going to take a look at 40 years of Avlon, which is such a huge achievement and the impact that it's had on the industry. Can you tell us a bit about how important that milestone is to both Avlon and the industry?
I think for the industry, it's an amazing milestone because, we've seen a lot of manufacturers, even in my lifetime as a hairdresser, come and go. I think, for British Afro hairdressing, we do have a heartfelt love for American manufacturers because they really came and gave us the education and the knowledge that we needed to be able to excel in our field. So we will forever be grateful for those type of manufacturers. I think for Avlon to still be here 40 years later and to have given education to a sector that was very limited in knowledge. I think, Dr. Saeed, one of the things that he was very, very indignant about was the fact that education had to be free to all of our salons, and the educators had to go into those salons and deliver education. And that's what we have done consistently for 40 years, as well as doing webinars and doing symposiums for the industry and for those salons within the industry. So we've always maintained pushing that envelope and developing and embarking knowledge amongst the salons within this sector. And I feel quite proud and privileged about that.
And you've been with Avalon, we were just talking before, is it over 20 years now? What was it like for you when they first kind of appeared on the scene in the industry as a hairdresser?
As a hairdresser, before I even became an educator, the salon that I worked in was one of the salons in London to receive the Affirm Relaxer systems and Care. I mean, we've had about 3 or 4 package changes since then, so that's just telling you how far back that goes. And it was a game changer. Until that point, you'd never actually, apart from one system, and that system, Dr. Saeed was the key scientist on that anyway. So he just took that knowledge and elevated it. And for me, as a hairdresser that used to apply relaxers to clients' hair, you could see a significant difference. It was a point that, you could walk along the street and you could actually point out who was an Avlon relaxer because it was that significant in difference. And to see 40 years later that we are still number one in that space in terms of relaxing technology, in terms of the condition and the integrity that's left in the hair, especially with the negative press around relaxers. When people often come to me and say, oh, relaxers are this and relaxers that, the one thing I can say when it comes to the Affirm relaxer system, that is not the case. The education around it, the science behind it, the reactive compounds within our relaxer system go so far above and beyond what is normally termed within your classic relaxer system. So I think for that and seeing that journey has been
Mm.
amazing. I think when I came in as an educator, it was quite interesting because it was me and our predecessor, Wesley Ricketts. It was just us two. And we worked with our main distributors. And that was even before Avlon Europe was a concept. And, to watch us come from that being two people to now what we currently have as Avlon Europe is phenomenal. And, you know, again, I feel very privileged to have been part of that journey. But I will say, you know, Dr. Saeed has been the key pin in making all of that happen. And it's just been his love for the sector in terms of textured hair and especially curly typed hair. And it's also his passion for hairdressers. His thing is about allowing hairdressers to have the products that they need to be able to deliver an amazing comprehensive service that leaves their client's hair in the optimum condition. And I have to say today, we've continued to do that.
And you were talking about Dr. Saeed there and the relaxers, thinking about how many patents he's got and some of the product innovations. Can you talk us through some of those? I mean, is it 45, did you say he's got?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, you know, I was saying to you earlier off camera that, you know, even for us as educators and myself, you know, I've been with Avlon for a long time, you can just get so caught up in your day to day that you actually don't take a step back to think about what we do because you just take it as standard. And it's only when you step out of your brand and you probably trial, and that's something that I do, I try everything because to me as an educator, you cannot talk about your system if you don't even know what else is happening out there. And, you know, 45 patents, a system that was created in 1984 that can still hold its own in 2024. That speaks a lot. You know, the technology in the Affirm Relaxer system, that patent is still being held. Nobody else has that. We are the only company that has that. So when we say that our relaxer system is revolutionary, we've got the evidence to support that. You know, Dr. Saeed was the first to talk about conditioning at elevated pH, meaning most people, when they did chemical services, and not just in the Afro sector, even in general hairdressing, you would elevate the pH of the hair, whether you're relaxing, perming, or bleaching. Once you'd got to your prospective outcome, you would then shut that hair down and then condition. Well, Dr. Saeed worked out that actually the best time to condition hair was at elevated pH, and it was using good cationic conditioners that would stay in that hair at that point that allowed us to be able to leave hair in relatively good condition to the extent that now 2024 we have a bond system that actually increases your natural elasticity from 100% to 121% even after a chemical service. That just goes to show how involved and how much research has been done over the years to ensure that we maintain integrity when using chemicals.
And I think it's Dr. Saeed's passion that brings that authenticity to particularly Afro textured hair products, you know, when there's quite a lot on the market and that's what, you know, consumers and clients want. And the fact that your Avlon is, you know, raising the standard of education to kind of add on to that, how important is it that this year it's becoming accessible to more people?
I think it's very important. I think, you know, just to take you back, you know, at the time when people were looking at science, no one was looking at textured hair, especially 4C textured hair. It was not relevant. There was no interest in it. And Dr. Saeed fell in love with that hair type and built his knowledge and understanding around that. That has enabled him now to really be able to talk about texture across the board. Because if you can maintain integrity in the most fragile of hair types, that only allows you to have strength in catapulted into other hair types and seeing how that integrity can be maintained. So I think that first and foremost was something that is revolutionary. I think in terms of our education, like I said, it's something that we've always done for Avlon Salon. So anybody that's used Avlon products, they've always been exposed to our knowledge and understanding. They've always had exposure to Dr. Saeed and the science behind everything we do. And I just felt that this year, as it being 40 years, again, you know, one of the things that we hear in industry all the time is that we are the best kept secret when it comes to textured hair. And I just felt that at 40 years, it was time for us to take the envelope off of that secret and let people know we've been here for 40 years. We've been developing technology over this period of time, and not technology that has just come and gone, but technology that has been here and that has maintained its position within this field. And we've gone from strength to strength. We've evoluted ourselves up into this space. And
Mhm.
when it comes to curls, when it comes to coils, kinks, whichever terminology you want to put on it, we have the technology and the patents that support that. So for me, we have an interest. There is an interest in textured hair now. And, I hate that word textured hair, but I'll use it because it's the most relevant name that people use. But hair types, especially curly hair types, there is such an interest in it now. And I just felt that it was important that we opened up our education to give people an opportunity to come and understand what we know about a category that we've been in for 40 years, what we know in terms of technology that we have developed and have the patents for this texture or this leverage of hair type. And I just feel that our practical courses are things that people have asked for. We've got an amazing education team that come with their own creative stance within Avlon. And I think it's amazing to give them the opportunity to be seen. Dr. Saeed has obviously educated people like myself and the other educators. So, for us to be able to give that education to audiences that would not necessarily have access to it, I think is very important. But at the same time, we are still maintaining that in-salon support that our customers are used to and have always had. So for the 40th year, I think what we're doing is really staying true to who we are, but we're also giving other people the opportunity to come into the Avlon family and just really get a first-hand view of what we're about.
And are you, as an educator, are you looking forward to meeting those people that are joining onto your courses?
Yeah, I think we're not we're taking our time. We're doing about 6 courses this year because it's a little taster for us, but it's the courses that most people have asked for. I mean, we get emails, we get Instagram messages all the time about, do you guys do courses? I'd love to do some training with you. And so we felt that we would take the most requested courses and build, and that's what we've done. And it's going to be exciting because I know internationally we've got a lot of people of interest in Europe where, textured hair care is not really regulated and there is no formal education as such. So we've got a lot of interest in places like Germany, Belgium, France, Italy, Spain, markets that we've gone into and delivered education for a number of years. We're now giving those people the opportunity to be able to come and work with us and experience our education firsthand. But also in the UK, there is such a vast market that wants a formal education around textured hair and wants to get that level of understanding. And we feel that we have something to offer. So yeah, we're really excited to meet new people and to share that knowledge.
Amazing. So 40 years, huge year for Avlon. What other things can we expect this year?
Oh, 40 years. Well, I can tell you that we've hit the floor running. I'm exhausted and we're only a month through.
Yeah.
We've just done an amazing photo shoot, and I have to say it's something that I'm very proud of. I think, again, I'm always about evolution. I'm always about pushing the envelope and taking us to the next catosphere. Sometimes I think my boss gets a bit scared about where I want to go. But I love the fact, and again, that is the beauty of working with a company like Avlon. It's a family-owned business. There's not 150 red tapes that you've got to jump through to get an idea on the table. As long as you can show what you're trying to do, where it's going to go, and how it's going to benefit the industry, everybody's quite happy to work with it. And that's exciting to me because you get told yes more than you get told no. So it's nice to have that freedom to think about different things and to look at how we can, one, support the professional side of our industry, but also look at how we can support the consumer side of our industry, because that's changed a hell of a lot. And, you know, consumers are looking to manufacturers for more information, for more knowledge. And at the same time, we have a responsibility to our professional side of the business to ensure that our professional hairdressers have the knowledge, have the understanding, and have the information that they too are in a position to be able to advise and give their customers the best outcome for their hair. So for me, this year, it's going to be a case of, one, our imagery, two, our education classes, three, we will be doing a lot of shows this year where people will be able to come up close and personal and meet myself and the team. We're doing a lot more international, especially more so in Europe. We've got shows coming up in France this year, which is really exciting. We're going to be at the Natural Hair Academy, and we're going to be at the MCB, which is France's version of Salon International. So that's going to be really exciting. We're taking the whole educational team to these events. So again, it's, you know, giving people access to us that possibly never really happened before. Hopefully towards the end of the year, well, not hopefully, we're planning to do an event where it'll be a press event, and to just say thank you to our salons and to our hairstylists that have been Avlon customers for years, those old and new. So that should really take us to the end of the year with a bang. And then there'll be small little collaborations that we're doing with individual salons and individual hairstylists to, again, celebrate everything that we do in terms of a manufacturer and in terms of projecting good hair care out there.
So loads to look forward. That is going to fly by.
Exactly. I said it like it's nothing, but deep down, I'm like a swan panicking.
Oh, well, thank you so much for giving us your time today. We
Thank
really,
you.
really appreciate it. HJ can't wait to celebrate with you and Avlon this year. Thank you to Avlon for sponsoring this
Thank
session.
you.
I
Can
hope
I
everyone
just
found it useful. Yes.
Can I just be cheeky and just offer one thing? Our course manual is out. Look out for the little insights that are going to be on Instagram, that are going to be on Avlon's webpage. Places are limited. I don't want to get any messages from people saying I tried to get on and there was all full up. So it's up to you now. The booking is live. Contact Avlon Europe, book your space, and me and my team look forward to welcoming you. Thank you for that, Shad.
Great. Yeah, we'll put a link to that in the caption as well after this goes out.
You're amazing.
So if anybody wants to find out more, they can head there. But thank you so much, Jacqui. It's been so great chatting with you today,
Thank you.
and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Definitely, probably this time at the end of the year, we'll tell you how
Yeah,
good it went.
yeah. I look forward to it. Speak to you later.
Take care. Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.